Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. I thought I would do a quick video on the new Stamp and Spin tool from Sizzix. This is a fabulous invention. It's won awards actually already. It's only been out a few weeks, but it won some awards at the beginning of the year at the Industry Trade Awards. So that's really a big thing. And it's basically going to work in conjunction with your stencil and stamp tool. And the idea is, let me grab mine, is that the Stamp and Spin tool replaces the lid on your stencil tool. So you would just take out your normal lid as such, take away the stencil part. We're not going to need that, obviously we're not stenciling. I should mention I do have a video already if the stencil and stamped yeah, stencil and stamp, too many different things. If the stencil and stamp tool is new to you, I do have a video on that already, but this has been out, I want to say about 18 months now. So I know lots of you will already have it and you're going to want to buy this new edition to work with it. So this basically just pops onto the hinges and replaces the lid. So now you have a stamp and spin tool that you can create circular designs. Also actually you're not limited to just circular designs and wreaths, because with a bit of clever playing around with it you can actually create whole pattern backgrounds, which is really cool. So let's run through how you would use it and we'll do a sort of basic wreath. So the first thing to mention is your sticky grid. You will see straight away the center of this lines up perfectly with the center of your sticky grid when you've popped it on your platform. So that's going to help you line up, say if you were just using a fairly small card front in here. I have to say I do tend to just use an A4 sheet and cut it down. But if you do want to be specific, you can use those bold grid lines with that as your centre point to make sure your card's in the right place. Let me pop a bit of card underneath actually, because you might see the grid lines a bit better with white underneath. So the tool itself works in the same way as your normal stamp tool, in that you would place your stamp on the clear plastic, push it down and it's going to stamp. You can re-stamp because you've got the same sort of registration point each time. But the way that the sort of spin part of it works is, I don't know how clear you can see, but you've got 8 sort of pie segments, I'll call them pie slices. So you've got 8 of those and there are 8 clicks. So once you've got your stamp on here, you would just click to the next position and that's going to put you in the next section as such. If you're using larger stamps, in addition to the 8 sort of segments, you've got dotted lines here which divide the whole circle into 4. So basically it's taking up 2 segments. You've got 1 segment in the centre there and half and half. So if you were using bigger stamps, you would place them kind of central within those dotted lines, and then you would move on 2 clicks each time instead of 1, because you're taking up 2 segments as such. There are also on one of the segments numbers for the rings going outwards. So of course you've got your pie segments that way at an angle, and then each ring going around has got a number. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That's really handy because if you can visually see straight away, say if I put all my stamps within 2, this layer, you can instantly see before you even start stamping what your wreath is going to look like. You can see the outline of it. So that's going to be helpful in terms of, you know, if you put down your card front in here and you want the wreath to sort of be, you know, within that card front, you can see quite clearly how big your finished wreath is going to be, and it gives you a visual for that. So that's really cool. It's going to work with lots of different stamps that you've already got. Sizzix have just brought out some stamps by Lisa Jones. Ignore the packaging. This is how I store mine. So I've sort of chopped the packaging up and stuck it on the back so I can see the images. And then I store in these wallets. So you've got some botanicals, butterflies and some fruit that are going to work really well for wreath making, because you've got different sizes. You've got some smaller elements for smaller wreaths and filling in gaps. And then with the floral and botanical one, you've got kind of some nice foliage and bits and bobs. So let's let's do a basic wreath, because then you can see it in action, and hopefully all of that will make a bit more sense when you see it in action. So let's do a wreath that's kind of following this smaller circle here. Now you can place your stamps either sort of in the middle of each segment or on the line, and obviously that will give you different sizes. And I've grabbed one of those leaves from that botanical set, and I'm going to pop that in that segment there. So it's, this particular stamp fits perfectly, and I can see how that's going to work. It's going to follow this line round, and I'm going to get a wreath about this size. And because this takes up that whole segment, they're going to be almost back to back, which is going to be a nice starting point. So I'm going to stamp with archival. I'm using this for speed. Archival dries really quickly, so I can whiz through. However, if I were making a card front with this, I would probably be stamping with a nice green or something, but so that you can see it clearly, I'm going with black. Now to ink up your stamp, you've got two options. You can either just lift your lid up and go in like so. If you're more comfortable inking up on a flat surface, of course, you can just lift the lid straight out and ink up like so. It's totally up to you. It's obviously faster if you don't take it out. So let's do the first one. Now this has got some weight to it because you've got quite thick acrylic, and you've got two layers really, because you've got the top layer and then you've got your spin element. So I find you barely need to press down on your stamps in this. Just the weight of this on itself pretty much gives you a good stamp every time. So that's stamped perfectly. I'm going to move on one click, and you'll see it's a really solid click. There's no mistaking when you've moved it on a click that you've done it perfectly. So ink up the next one, stamp, perfect. So we'll move on one, ink up again, stamp, move on one, and you'll see how quick and easy this is. And I've got to say, I feel this is genius. As someone that has bought every single wreath making system that's been out over the past few years, this is a game changer, because nearly all of those involve having a little, well, they first of all involve you using a stamp platform with a hard edge, and then you're butting some sort of template up that you then put your card in. Now most of them have magnets to hold your cardstock in place. So in order to do this, you're sort of placing your card up against whatever system it is, putting your magnet down to hold your card still, stamping, lifting up, taking your magnet off, moving your card along to the next, rotating your card, putting it back down, putting the magnet back down, inking, stamping. It's a much more time consuming process than this, because with this one, the stamp is moving with just one click. Other systems, you've got to manually move your card yourself and then sort of re-ink your stamp and go. So this is much faster. And I've got to say, with pretty much all of those other systems, I barely use those because I just can't be bothered with the time it takes. Whereas with this, I'd probably be using my stamp tool anyway. So it's really is an absolute godsend in terms of the time. So there we go, we've got a perfect wreath. So let's have a look at ideas for doing sort of using filler stamps and ways to sort of make your design larger. So we've started with that one, which was a smallish stamp that fitted perfectly within one of the segments. Shall we add something in that's going to be a bit bigger? Let's add one of these big butterflies. Now, once you've got your base layer down, in order to expand the design, you don't necessarily have to carry on using these grid systems. You absolutely can just kind of put your stamp in relation to what you've already done and use that as your guide. So let's take this butterfly. This is quite a large butterfly. And as you can see, it's larger than one of, well, I hope you can see, but it's slightly larger than one of these sections. So that means probably I'm going to want to double click. So let's look at what we've got. And I'm probably going to want to have this maybe like so. So I can either visually just pop it on my cardstock, pick it up and go around that way, or I can use the grid to kind of make sure I'm within one of those dotted line segments. So I could pop it like so. Now I could get this within one segment if I wanted to, like so. Hopefully you can see that by putting it at an angle. So I could certainly do that, but I quite like the idea of having it like so. And then we will rotate twice. So let's see what that's going to look like. And I will say, experiment, because by putting things at different angles, you need to visualize it. I didn't ink that up at all well, so that's a good indication of how useful it is to have the platform. No, that's much better. I still haven't done it perfectly though. There we go. So now I'm going to move along. Actually, I can still see I have not done that perfectly. I think I haven't inked it up very well actually. There we go. That's better. I probably needed to prime these stamps a bit. This is the first time I've used them. So if I go one click, that actually is going to work. So we can do one click or two. Let's do one. Oh no, let's do two. Let's do two, because then we can put something else in between them. There we go. Let's give that a better press. Yeah, that's better. And two again. And then we can fill in the gap with something else. So this is where you can really start to not only create wreaths but patterns, because by sort of alternating between 1 and 2 clicks, you can play around really with the background, and it's not so much a wreath but more of a background pattern. There we go. So we're going to go 2, and that's going to give me 4 big butterflies. There we go. Lovely. So we've got a nice gap to fill there with something else. So let's clean that butterfly. Obviously think of this, how this would look in colour, because I've gone with black ink just so it's easy to see my stamping, but it's not the most exciting. So let's go in with something else that's quite big. Let's go in with a lemon. Shall we have a lemon in between? And the beauty of placing on the card is you really visually can see where that's going. So I will advise you, once you've gone past your basic layer, you're probably easier placing it on your cardstock and thinking about it rather than working it out on the grids. So let's do one of these. The other thing, let's do this first one and then we can think about the next layer, because there is another sort of time saving thing you can do. So let's pop this lemon in like so, and we're going to move on to, so my next lemon's going to be there. I can rest that down because we're coming back to that. But say I want to then think of my next stamp. I don't have to do all the lemons and then come back. If I want to add something else in here, we can do it now. So let's just pop, what have we got? Shall we have a little daisy? If I wanted to add in, say a little daisy there, or even let's come in a little bit. Yeah, let's come in a little bit. I know this won't necessarily make a lot of sense, but in terms of a design, I'm gonna have a bit of an odd mix of stamps, but let's go with it. So now I can ink up my daisy and my lemon and do them both at the same time. I didn't ink that daisy up very well, so we can go back in with that. That's better. So now when I move along to, I've got both of those to stamp at the same time. So ink up my lemon, ink up my daisy, and there we go. Move along 2 again. And this will be the last lemon I need. So we'll ink up both of those and stamp. And I need one more daisy, but my lemon is done. So I can just take my lemon off, move my daisy along too. And go again. Now say at this point I decided I wanted daisies on all of those, of course I can then just start going back to 1, turn, click, and fill in all the other daisies. So this is going to sort of speed it up a little bit for you, because you can add multiple layers. Now of course I could be working on a third option at the same time now if I wanted to. So this is how you build up your designs quite quickly, even when you're using lots of different stamps. And then we've got one more daisy. So it's a really clever tool. There we go. So of course I can chop that down now. I could stamp a sentiment in the middle, maybe colour in my images, and I've got a really perfect design. So I hope that's given you a good overview of how it works. Pop over to the Sizzix website, because there is a whole sort of section on the website on this tool where you will see lots of finished samples. I will be sharing on my Instagram, Facebook, etc. over the next few weeks some finished projects with this, because this is really the first chance I've had to have a proper play with it, because Pete did the launch shows on Hobby Maker here in the UK a couple of weeks ago, and it sold out so quickly. So I haven't been able to use it really for any of my shows because it's been out of stock on Hobby Maker. So this is my first little play with it. I'm looking forward to doing a lot more with it. And you know me and butterflies, I've got ideas for all sorts of lovely sort of rainbow wreaths and all sorts of things. So keep an eye. If you don't already follow me on Instagram and Facebook, then pop along and do that. And I'll put links in the description box here on YouTube to all of these products, the stamp sets, the different tools, etc. So if you're looking to get some of these, I'll give you some options of where to go and buy it depending on where you are. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.